looking at your account and you have a net worth of negative $12,000. What does it feel like? What stories come up? What are your natural thoughts and how much do you believe those thoughts? Welcome to the Limitless Podcast, the show where women entrepreneurs become radically aware of their limiting beliefs, learn to value their worth, generate wealth, and to thrive as a magnetic brand leader. I'm your host, Jamie Raternamnn, a six-figure holistic business coach. I've helped over 100 rebellious entrepreneurs master marketing, embody leadership, and say fuck it to the hustle. Let's dive in. Hello, lovelies, and welcome to 2024. If you are listening to this episode, I am sure you're feeling that New Year energy. You're seeing all those articles about new resolutions. You may have put your goals into place. And I just want to say this episode is going to be about getting into the real blocks that prevent people from hitting their goals. So I went ahead at the end of 2023, gave you an effective way to think through your goal setting. So I want you to revisit that episode. But today is about really leaning into letting the failures come, letting the like each day walking into it going, it's a new day, being able to really go after what you want this year and being able to know that mindset is going to be a big part of it. So when it comes to a new year, a new month, a new you goal setting, the difference between reaching your goals and not is this ingredient mindset. You're in general, a lot of coaches you're going to hear talk about 90% of success is mindset. 70% of success is mindset. Because at the end of the day, I can give you strategy after strategy after strategy of what to do. But if you don't have the momentum, the push, the discipline, the commitment to go after it, it usually has nothing to do with what I'm giving you, but ultimately how you feel about the goal, how you feel about yourself going after it. So I have been that person who loves the numbers and I love strategies. I love psychology. I love all of these things. But to truly understand what allows you to shift your mindset is the difference between people who end up like giving up whenever, even like on their goals, and the ones who find excuses. The one who, the understanding that that is what it is to have a, let's say, a bad mindset, let's say a mindset that's ready to quit versus those who show up even when they're not feeling 100% about it. Those who collect their failures and bounce back with resilience, the ones that end up reaching their goals because they are patient of when those results come to them. So I want you to see this episode of making sure you're not overdoing it in 2024. That if there's really a place for you to focus your energy, because let's say you're signing yourself up for a goal that you had in 2023, but you haven't met it yet, let's instead create a tangible mindset practice. I think this is one of the things with my clients that comes up all the time where they've learned about affirmations. They know meditation is supposed to help. They know about all of these things that they like got to release their fears, have an abundance mindset, but actually thinking about what is the step-by-step method to change, to shift, it's important. So mindset is about ultimately feeling lighter when it comes to specific areas in your business. Like when someone says, like I've actually had clients who go like, I don't really get what this is about mindset. I don't really get it. And I'll be like, well, ultimately it's going like, we know that there's always going to be challenges in business, but the ones who have a growth mindset are going to feel lighter about it. It's not going to feel like a heavy load to release the fear of scarcity. It's going to be something that they know about and know the progress to release it, know that they're worthy of it. So this is something to consider. So once you have your mindset in place, it's going to be easier to take action. It's going to be easier to shake off fears rather than sit in them. Ultimately, a strong mindset means you believe that you're going to reach your dream life, you're going to reach your dream revenue, your dream client load, your in general, do everything that you want, just a matter of time. Your mindset helps you to realize that you are that source. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what is a proven method to change your mindset and also ultimately help you manifest the goals that you have for 2024. So the three steps that I like to give my clients are number one, awareness. Number two, pivoting to the positive. And number three, the most important one. So it's not just about saying the right things or double tapping those wonderful woo-woo affirmations in your social. Number three is aligned action, making sure that you are showing yourself that whatever that positive statement is, and we'll get into this in just a moment, but the actions are acting as if. We'll get there. Now, I said awareness, pivoting to the positive aligned action. Guess what? This is on repeat. This is daily. This is something that you want to do with, like, you want to make it as a part of your routine as possible, because our minds were built to keep us comfortable. We're built to, in general, be a little bit more negative. The more we feared things around us, the more we stayed safe. That's how our subconsciouses have been built for us. So understanding that when you hear mindset and you think, oh, it's all woo-woo, your subconscious, your mindset runs your life. It does. 95% of all of our decisions are made by our subconscious. AKA, whatever routines and patterns and ways of thinking that have been put into place are still there. But now, or what we're doing in this episode is encouraging you to upload new software. So I want you to consider this. Whenever we are trying to change our mindset, and it's almost like, let's say, for a long time you've been believing that it's not possible for you to make 100K in a year's time. It's just not possible. And now I'm telling you, what if you could make 100K in the first 6 months? Like, what if that's what we look at? If your mindset is telling you that it's not possible, it's like you deciding to use Excel to write a novel, right? Like, it's the software doesn't match. We need to align it so that it matches each other. So let's use this as an example. With this three-step process, let's explore this relationship with money. You can also do this for your health. You can also do this for your leadership and like how you want to be seen. You can also do it for your love life. It works in all ways, but let's instead use it now for money, because I know many of you probably have your revenue goals that you want to have for this year. So step one, get aware of your beliefs around money. Now, in a recent marketing mastery coaching session, I decided to, instead of like, asking what beliefs they had, I decided to lovingly, let's say, trigger my clients. So what I decided to do is put up two different money situations. One being a net worth of negative $12,000. So I want you to imagine opening your Chase account, opening your Mint, opening any of the budgeting software that you decide to use, or just in general, looking at your account and you have a net worth of negative $12,000. What does it feel like? What stories come up? What are your natural thoughts, and how much do you believe those thoughts? So if you saw your net worth in the red, what might come up for you? Some common stories when I've done this exercise is that I fucked up. Like, if that's my net worth, I must have fucked up along the way. Or I'm clearly not any good at what I do. Or I'm a failure. Those are all stories that come up when I would put up a number like this. Now, let me be clear. I only am saying, what if your net worth said negative $12,000? I didn't say any of the conditions that got you there. I didn't say any of those things. But really what ends up coming up is that by putting this, let's say, trigger up, what I've uncovered with many people, and including myself, being able to release this for myself, is that we believe our numbers, our money, our net worth represents our self-worth, right? So that's limiting belief. This is limiting block. So you've heard me talk about this on the podcast before, that your net worth is not your self-worth. That is a absolute limiting belief that we must release, because on the flip end of it, your self-worth will affect your net worth. So thinking about, all right, this first trigger, what stories come up if you had a net worth of negative $12,000? Okay. Now I flipped it again for my clients, and we went on the other end of the extreme and saying, like, a post that said, I made $50,000 this month. So making the switch of like, how does it feel to see that coming up? I have a $50,000 launch. And the flip end of this was became aware of what they thought they were capable of receiving. Many of them said, I would be so burnt out if I was going to be able to reach that. It's not possible. It's just not possible for me. Or making money like that has to be hard. These again are all beliefs. These are all stories. So this is what I mean by awareness. Being aware of the beliefs that you have. The beliefs that shape the way you see the world. But I want to be very clear. They are not facts. You can change your beliefs. You can change what you see. You get to choose how you feel about it. So using these examples, let's say we've uncovered two in particular limiting beliefs. One being my net worth affects my self-worth. And we want to be able to say my self-worth is always like it's always the same. Like it's never going to change no matter what my money situation is. That's what we hope to get to. Or the other limiting belief we've uncovered is making money is hard. Now, I want to be very clear. If you resonate with these limiting beliefs, there's nothing wrong with you believing these things. There's nothing wrong with it. In general, your brain likes to be negative. Like I said, in general, the environment, the news cycle, we all keep hearing about how hard it is to make money. But again, we are changing our environment. We are changing our belief. So if we're looking at the way we want to look at money for the new year, this is where we have to realize that believing that making money is hard is what stops you from showing up, is what stops you from applying those strategies, is what stops you from selling more, not I got to figure out the perfect way to do it. So the first thing we have to do is choose to switch this mindset. So the next piece here is step two here is to pivot into the positive. So what I like to do when it comes to pivoting into the positive is to what would be the flip end of this? What would feel different? So if we're going to let's use the idea of making money is hard as our example here. If that's something that you believe, let's do some evidence research here. So in your life, what is true about that statement? So let's say you're in a job that like in the past, like in general, you've been living paycheck to paycheck. Let's say you've worked 80-hour weeks and you still feel like you're not getting to where you need to go. Yeah, that's evidence that making money is hard. But what also makes it false? Have you been ever given a gift of money? Have you been able to realize that you sold one of your highest ticket programs as an entrepreneur? Have you also noted, like, even too, how have you ever just like received like $100 gift card around Christmas going, money does come to me. It can even be a way for you to look at it and it like even bigger and even better is going, yeah, I see money everywhere. You know what? I picked up a quarter the other day. I found the $20 in my pocket. I can see that as there's money everywhere. It's possible. So being able to look at, okay, I have evidence to why making money is hard, but I also have evidence to show that making money can be easy. It's everywhere. So this is where we start to choose and pivot to the positive. We're going to choose a different statement that is going to make us feel like whatever goal we have around our money relationship is reachable. Doesn't mean it's something that makes you sick, doesn't seem like it's possible. I want it to be something that might feel like you got to climb a little and then you'll get it, but it's not out of your reach. Okay. So I want to be very clear. Right now, if I tell you, okay, let's make your positive statement, the energy you're wanting to call in for your money is that I can easily make 30K this month. If you saying that makes your stomach turn, makes you kind of feel ill, your inner critic might be laughing at you inside. Like in general, it doesn't feel even close to believable. I want you to realize that maybe you're not ready for that one. Maybe your mindset can't fathom that, but it can fathom, let's say, 15K this month. Let's say 10K this month, whatever feels reachable. This is what I like to call a more of a ladder approach to mindset. And this is also why affirmations are never going to work for you if they don't align with where you're at. Someone is going to see that 50K months feels too small for them because they've built up their mindset to know that they can make more. There's also going to be people that think that 5K a month seems insane to them. You got to see where you're at on the ladder. So if right now you would like to believe that 30K months are easy for you, maybe we're not going to the top of the ladder. We're going to go up to the middle area and be happy at that 15K place. So see where you're at. This is where you want to check into how you feel, where your body is, what's going on inside your mind. Whenever you say the statement, 15K months are easy. If you say that out loud and you're like, that doesn't feel crazy to me. That feels okay to me. This is where we begin. We've pivoted to the positive. We've pivoted to what we want to feel like. Okay. So, nervous system is absolutely a place that's going to signal to you where your subconscious is. Again, ways to know your subconscious is not going to get on board with whatever, you know, outlandish goal you might have, or maybe not outlandish goal you might have, is to check in and say the statement out loud. And if you hear laughing, if you feel icky, if you feel gross, these are signals that your subconscious is like, hell to the no. Find where it's ready for you. So, like I said, choose a positive statement that is maybe something you have to climb to, but is not out of your reach. Okay. So we're going to say our new money statement for the year is 15K months are easy. Just for the example, again, change that to what feels right for you. Now, this is where mindset usually ends. We're just going to keep saying the things that we want to believe, and it usually ends. Not true. This is where we're going to take aligned action. This is step 3. So I love with my Thrive Mastermind clients to help them to see their thriving selves, to match the energy of the statement that you're making. This is what the idea is. So your aligned actions can be tactical, can be spiritual. The goal is that you act as if. So let's take this as an example. If I want to believe, and I know that 15K months are easy, a tactical approach might be building a website that is easy for people to buy from, easy for people to grab a product, even if I'm not directing them to it. It might be showing up in a consistent way on social media with a meaningful approach that I love, that in general I look forward to. It can be investing in a coach or a program that tells you how to build out your offer suite. All of this is tactical approaches that you are aligning the energy with that positive belief that you want to embody for yourself. A spiritual approach might be taking time in the morning for a slow morning. You allow yourself the opportunity to feel good before you begin. You're going to show yourself that you don't have to wake up at the crack of dawn and work and hustle. You can show yourself that you can have a relaxed morning and dive into work to make that happen for you. It can also be journaling. It can also be scripting and manifesting money. It can also be deciding to receive. One thing about everything I said with those blocks, those limiting beliefs, is that we're blocking the opportunities that could be give us money around us. Receiving could be a big part of it. So what other ways can you simply receive? Receive could be receiving a compliment and saying thank you. It's true. It could be hard to say, like this in general is an exercise I like to do with my mastermind clients, where if I can tell that they're blocking themselves from how people appreciate them, this is also a way that we can see if you're blocking yourself from the potential of money coming to you. So saying, thank you, it's true. When someone says, you look beautiful today, thank you, it's true. Or I loved this post. Thank you. Glad you like it. Like being able to be like, oh no, it's no good. That is a block. So how can we receive what we want to have? So when I talk about aligned action, it's not a one-time thing. It is a everyday thing. Being able, for me, when I talk about these 3 steps, I have a part of my morning ritual. Like I do love to journal, but part of my morning ritual is, what aligned actions am I taking to go after what this mindset, this manifestation that I want. And I will write down 2 or 3 that absolutely align with the person that I am becoming. And I'm acting as if I believe 15K months are easy. I believe I can make 100K in the first 6 months. I believe these things. I'm going to act as if. So those are your 3 steps. Step 1, awareness, pivot to the positive step 2, and then take aligned action. It is a daily practice. I want to say this though. There are going to be days where aligning to this energy is like pulling teeth. This is your subconscious, and I like to always think about my subconscious like a little child. It's throwing a tantrum. It's pissed. It's built patterns. It's made its job easier by saying, "Oh, this is how she feels about money. I don't have to work so hard. I don't have to make her use energy to think about this. I want her to just stay the same. I want to still be writing a novel in Excel, right? I want it to be hard, right? So we're uploading a new software. It's not going to be happy about it. It's not. It's going to fight tooth and nail. So there's going to be days where you're just like, I don't feel like it. I don't love this. It's not possible for me. My fears are heightened. Just be like, my subconscious is having a tantrum today, but I'm going to take at least some small actions to again prove to it that this is the new software. This is my new pattern. So when you're wanting to make a change, I want you to be clear. I want to be clear. There's going to be shit days. But once you know what's actually making you feel that way, just choose differently. Choose to show up in a small way. Choose to show yourself a little extra love and care. Choose to do the tactical things that you promise yourself to do. Be like, I'm going to do at least one of these today so that I can show myself that yes, 15K months are easy, even when I'm having an off day. So you've heard me talk about a feel good first approach to anything in business. This is a large portion of what I share with my clients. We even have like an emotional scale to help them work through it. So if you're ever looking for that bigger support with this, I want to encourage you to come into one of my programs because we talk all about the emotional scale and how this can be a really important part of your mindset practice. I'll probably share a little bit more about it on a future episode. But again, feeling good first, making that your priority no matter what. If you in the morning like you choose that, it's going to allow any of your goals to happen a little easier. It's going to allow your mindset to change a lot faster because our emotions are absolutely going to affect anything that we're trying to create. So take a look. Take a look at what you've set yourself up for this year. See in general what you want to do, but I want you to realize that your mindset is going to affect how quickly, how easily, or if you achieve that. So take these 3 steps: awareness, pivot to the positive, and take aligned action. If this episode was supportive to you, please let me know. As we enter into the new year, it would be such a joy for me if you decided to rate and review this podcast. So if you hop on over to Apple Podcasts, if you're listening there, or even if you're on Spotify, give me that rating, share what you love about listening to Limitless. it would I would be overjoyed, even too, if you want to put a request of what kind of episode you want into your review. I'm going to be reading them. I'm going to be so excited too. But the more you can review this podcast, the more other entrepreneurs like you get to get my support, and I would absolutely be overjoyed. So take a moment, rate and review for me, as well as say hi to me over on Instagram at Jamie Raternamnn, JamieRaternmann, and let me know what your goals are for the year. I'm happy to hold you accountable. Until next time, live a little more limitless.